Good morning. I am Swerin Sebastian, Assistant Professor in Commerce, Parshiraja College. I hope all of you are safe. We are passing through the toughest period. We are facing COVID-19. I hope and I wish all of you good health and a good days ahead. Stay home, stay safe. And we have missed lots of academic days and we have missed out lots of portions. So we, the teachers of Parshiraja College, are here to bring out those missed out portions to you people. So please follow this YouTube channel to get idea about the concepts that you have missed in your classrooms. So in this video, I'm going to give you an idea about the subject financial management, and the topic which is going to be covered is an introduction about the concept of cost of capital and the components of cost of capital. So I hope this video will be useful for you people. Thank you. So friends, straight away we can go into the topic, that is cost of capital. This is an introductory slide about cost of capital, which will give you an idea about the concept of cost of capital. So as we all know, for the functioning of a firm, definitely capital is needed. So this capital or the money can be raised from different sources, like by issuing equity shares, preference shares, debentures or bonds, etc. So when the company issue all these things, the investors will invest in equity shares or preference shares, debentures or bonds, something like that. So by investing in all these things, the investors is actually providing long-term funds to the firm. So definitely the investors is investing their money in the business. So definitely they will expect a return for the money they invested. Actually, they will expect a return at a particular rate. So we can say that the investors expect a return for the money they invested at a particular rate, and that rate of return which is expected by the investors is actually the cost of capital. Because whenever the capital is raised by a company or a firm, a cost is incurred for that. So the cost is something which can be connected to the rate of return expected by the investors. The company has the liability to pay the return to the investor at a rate which is expected by them, and that is the cost of the capital. So to satisfy, it is the duty of the company or the firm to satisfy their investors. So for satisfying their investors, the company should give them at least a return at the rate they are expecting. So if the company needs to pay the return for an investor at a rate they are expecting, the company should make some earnings minimum at that rate. So we can say that the rate at which a firm raises capital is known as cost of capital, of cut-off rate or discount rate, something like that. We can say that to satisfy the investor's expectation, the firm should earn a revenue at least at a minimum rate which is equal to the investor's expectation. The firm needs to pay the investors dividends or interest for the money invested by them. So for example, we can see that if a firm can raise funds at 10%, that means the company or the firm needs to give the investors a return at a minimum rate of 10%. So if the firm, so we can say that if the investors is expecting a rate of a return at a rate of 10%, so actually the firm can raise those funds at 10%. So then we can say that then the firm must at least make some earnings at a rate which is equal to 10%. Only if the firm earns at minimum rate of 10%, then they can satisfy their investors by providing them the return which is equal to their expectation, that is 10%. The firm gains profit only if it earns more than 10 percentage, that means the minimum rate of return that is expected by the investors. So that 10 percentage is the minimum rate of return for the existence of the firm, which is known as cost of capital, cut-off rate or discount rate. So 10 percentage, minimum 10 percentage of return must be earned by the firm, then only they can satisfy their investors who are expecting a return at the rate of 10 percentage. If the company is earning only 8 percentage, then how they can satisfy their investors who is expecting a return at the rate of 10 percentage? So only if the company has an earning more than 10 percentage, for example 12 percentage, if they are earning some return, then they can give 10 percentage rate of return to the investors, then 2 percentage will be their profit. So at least for their company's existence or for the break-even point, the company should raise the earnings at a minimum rate of 10 percentage, then only they can satisfy their investors. This slide will give you an idea about the different components of the cost of capital. So definitely we need to find out the cost of raising the capital. So for the purpose of determination of cost of capital, there are mainly 4 sources of capital which is grouped as 4 components. That maybe we can raise fund through equity share, we can raise fund through retained earnings, and we can raise fund through issuing preference share, we can raise fund through debt capital like debenture or bond, something like that. So all together this equity share capital, retained earnings, preference share capital, debt capital, that means bond and debentures, everything comprises to form the total capital employed in a company. So if we look onto the capital structure of a company, we will see that the company may raise fund from equity share, from retained earnings, from preference shares, from debt capital such as bonds or debentures, something like that. So we can say that equity share capital and retained earnings is purely equity shareholders fund, and equity share capital, retained earnings, preference share capital, these 3 comprises to form shareholders fund. And if we include the debt capital, that means the debentures and bonds with equity share capital, retained earnings, preference share capital, then we will get the clear cut picture of the capital structure. That is, the total capital employed is through equity share capital, through retained earnings, through preference share capital, through debt capital. So in the rest of the chapter we are going to discuss about how we can calculate the overall cost of capital. Definitely we need to know about calculating the overall cost of capital, because it is very important to calculate the overall cost of capital, then only we can have a clear idea about the at what kind of rate we must earn for the survival. Definitely the overall cost of capital must be, or the earnings that we made must be greater than the overall cost of capital, then only this business will exist. So in order to calculate the overall cost of capital, we need to find out the different sources from where the capital is raised, and we need to find out the specific cost of each source of fund. We may raise fund from debt, we may raise fund from preference share capital, we may raise fund from equity share, we may raise fund from retained earnings. So cost is associated with each sources of this. So that we can say that the specific cost. So there is a specific cost, that is cost of debt, a specific cost is there. Cost of preference share capital, that is exclusively what we can say that the cost incurred in raising finance through issuing of preference share. Cost of equity share capital, that is a specific cost which is incurred during the issue of equity share. And cost of retained earnings, that is the cost that is incurred, specific cost incurred during when we use or when we raise the retained earnings. So the overall cost of capital, in order to calculate the overall cost of capital, we need to calculate the specific cost of each sources of fund. So there are mainly 4 specific costs, that is cost of debt, cost of preference share capital, cost of equity share capital, cost of retained earnings. And in the coming slides we will discuss in detail about all these 4.